Hey YouTube, welcome back to Monkey Business. We have a new day, different. We got Jeremy in the background here. He's got some different stuff he's working on. Staying inside, staying safe from the coronavirus, not trying to catch anything. So we are gonna get started and show you what we're gonna get going on. So today we have the fuel pump we're gonna get mounted on the back of the rat rod, and we also have the fuel filter that we're gonna get mounted on the back of the rat rod as well. We have some brackets that we're gonna make for both of those so we can get them mounted. We also have this line over here that we are gonna use to feed all the way up to the front of the rat rod to be able to finish up what Jeremy's working on. And so we're going to come back here, mount a fuel pump here, fuel filter here, and then we got this rubber hose we're gonna use to get both of those connected. So we got Boo Boo over here chilling like a villain. She's been really mouthy today. And then we got Jeremy over here, loud noise maker. You know. But let's get started. Alrighty, so we're gonna use this piece of sheet metal here to get the bracket cut off for the fuel pump. So let's get started. So we got the bracket here. We are going to bend this to fit the fuel pump. We are going to bend it around like this, which I'll kind of show you how we're going to do it. We're going to put a nut in there, screw, and then we're going to bolt it to the back of the rat rod. Alrighty, so we got the fuel filter and the fuel pump all hooked up and ready to go. As you can see here, we got the fuel pump. We made a bracket for that one. We didn't end up making a bracket for the fuel filter. We ended up just drilling a hole here and putting it into the frame rail. So everything is good to go on that. Hey YouTube, so we got the fuel filter, the fuel pump, and the fuel line all the way ran up to the front of the rat rod. We got all the wiring done. The only thing left is to work on the thing or Jeremy's working on, which I'm gonna let him explain that to you. But we've done a lot of things off camera. We should have been recording, but we've been really busy. Hoping this works because we put a lot of work into it. But here's Jeremy.
All right, so we took the Zumi headers off the rat rod. We cleaned them up a little bit, pulled the spark plugs that we had in there out, took the baffles out. I've never shown anybody what the baffle looks like, but I took die grinder, cut some slits in here, and then used the air hammer to knock that out and make a little tube. Welded a washer on the end so they wouldn't fall down into the pipe, and they went down in there. Makes a big difference. It's the difference between whether or not you can talk when you're in the car, or whether you have to put the car in neutral and let it go down to idle so that you can hear yourself think. We got the fuel rail built for the fuel injectors in the exhaust. We've got some nice, mostly metal injectors that I think will hold up to the heat. We'll have to see how they do. We've got them in here. We put them at an angle, hoping that we could get some fuel help traveling up that tube. We're going to make some brackets here on the back side, cut them off, weld them on, and put a bolt at each end to hold the fuel rail on so that the injectors don't come loose. And we got to get new gaskets here for the motor. We're going to weld some nuts on here that we can screw that spark plug into, rather than just having the spark plug welded in like they were before. So making some upgrades to what we currently had, plus the fuel rail system. I think this is going to turn out and work well. We're going to get a fuel pressure regulator and put in line so that we can adjust the fuel pressure to that rail, and we ought to be able to adjust our flame height that way. But if you know me, I plan to go big, so we'll see what happens. And we're going to get these cleaned up. We've got some heat wrap ordered that we're going to put on the first little bit of these pipes here, and try to protect the injector from getting quite as much heat. I don't know if it'll work or not. We'll see what happens. So we'll keep you updated. Probably another day or so before we get any real steps made. We got to do the same thing on the other side, and this took us a couple days to get there. So this video isn't turning out to be one of our quick projects. It's turning out to be a long, drawn out thing, but it's given us something to do while we're all staying quarantined from the coronavirus, and trying to stay healthy. So